What's going on, guys? NealGuides here. Welcome back to another video. Now in today's video we're going to go over the 5-3-2, probably the only formation that can exploit any defense, especially against those that are parking the bus or dropping back, especially after Team of the Year. The reason why this formation is probably one of my favorite is that it actually attacks in a 3-3-4. So although you start in a 5-3-2, when you attack, you're attacking a 3-3-4, and when your fullbacks, when they surge forward, they're basically unmarked. Now why this is brilliant is if your opponent is parking the bus and he's sitting very narrow, the left back and right back are going to exploit the wing areas that will easily allow you to cross the ball in or cut inside through the wing areas. So it's basically a really good formation for attacking, going down the wing and breaking your opponents that are parking the bus. I like to call it a flying fullbacks. When you defend in a 5-3-2, so you do have that stability when you're defending, but the most important part of this formation is attacking. Now we're going to go through the tactics and instructions. As usual, it's important that you understand the reasons why, so I'll explain why I'm going through everything. The defensive style was changed from last year, is you cannot use pressure on every touch, anything like this. Is because they've nerfed it, and stamina this year is a big issue. You can't use pressure on every touch, anything like that. It's because these players, especially left back and right back, when they go forward, they're going to be caught out of position. So the best thing you can use is balanced, and that way your players don't get caught out of position, and that way you're also safe, but your team also press a little bit. You're not playing drop back, but you're still being further up the pitch. Now going over to the width, we've reduced the width down to 3. Now a bit unorthodox, should I say. For most formations I say always go 4, but the reason we've gone with 3 is with this specific system, I've done testing on this as well. You need your 3 centre mids to be together with your your back 5. Now this is the issue. If your width is any higher, there's too much gaps in between your final back 5. With this way, you're basically compact together, but if your opponent goes down the wing, you can always bring out your, for example, your right centre mid or your right back to go and attack your opponent. But the most important thing is you're not too open when you're defending, and that's the reason we've gone with a width of 3, because naturally the way the game registers a 5 defender back line is to basically register it quite wide apart. So basically counteracting that aspect, so people can't just spam through balls. As we know, through balls are a big issue in a game. Going over to the depth, we've gone with a depth of 4. The forward depth is kind of important because most of the time your left back and right back are going to be bombing forward every time you get the ball, the flying fullbacks. But the issue is stamina is going to be very much affected. Now I know it's Team of the Year, there's going to be some good cards coming out for Team of the Year, but also if you're just going to use ordinary cards, not everyone's going to have 99 stamina. So this way you reduce your stamina because you have a very high width, or should I say a high depth that coincide with the width. So that way when you're defending, they basically run out wide, which makes it even harder for your opponent to mark, because when you're defending, you're compact together. Then when you go on overload, which are on overlap, which I'll show you in a second, they basically go from inwards to an outward position, and also don't have to run too much because they're already pretty high on the pitch. So it makes it even better for you. For defensive style, you have to play either long ball or fast build-up play. Contrary to last year, I think fast build-up play is very much key this year. That's how they basically bomb forward. So when you get your left back and right back, how they basically run forward is they run like this, and they almost run into very wide attacking positions. So think of them as left backs and right backs when you're defending, but when you're attacking, they're left wings and right wingers. So just do bear that in mind. But it's a very fun formation. You'll see this in a second. You can probably see the footage as you can see that I've appended into this clip. If we move over to the offensive width, now this is where it goes to 6. This is important because you don't want your 3 midfielders to be congested when you're attacking, and nor do you want your 2 strikers. So what you're basically doing is you're asking your 3 centre mids to be a bit split up, if that makes sense, when they're attacking, your 2 strikers, but also your left wing and right wing when they go forward, they're going to be further apart. And this is what makes it hard for your opponent to defend against this, because they have to basically mark all these 3 players in the middle and the 2 strikers, so you got numerical advantage in midfield, but also left back and right back, they're so far wide apart when they go forward, it's really hard to break it apart. So that's the whole idea, is that you're always going to have a passing option available, if not at least an area to switch the ball, if that makes sense. With the players in the box, we've reduced this down to 3 because we have manual instructions for players getting inside the box, but I'll get onto that into a second. Corners and free kicks, we left this on 1 just for the simple fact we don't want to get counter-attacked. Now we're going to head over into the instructions. Again, it's very important that you understand what instructions I'm using and the reason why. Both strikers, we put them both on stay central and come back on offense. The comeback on offense doesn't mean they're going to come back when you're defending. They're going to be quite advanced forward. Come back on offense just means when you get the ball back, they're going to be close, that you'll be able to do quick 1-2s with your strikers to your centre mids. That's the whole ideology behind comeback on offense. We want them on stay central, so when you're attacking, these guys are always in the middle. You don't want, for example, your wing back to sometimes go in a mid attacking position in the middle, and sometimes your striker drifting out wide. You don't want that. So with these 2 players on stay central, both your main marksman strikers are always going to be in front, and they'll never be anywhere else. I just want to say, if you do want to get better at FIFA, I do have a paid advanced in-depth FIFA School Series. This is for all levels of those that want to improve in FIFA. This is different from YouTube videos. It's a progressive learning system where all the videos go completely in depth, and you won't find these videos on my YouTube channel. These go beyond the scope of typical YouTube videos. They're very long, elaborate videos explaining what you need to do and what you need to become a better game, explaining everything. So come join hundreds of others in a mature audience community for those looking to get better at FIFA. Link is in the description for more information. Patreon.com/NealGuides. Of course, I have all of last year's videos as well, which all apply to this year, and I'll have new videos coming soon for FIFA 21. And there's a complete money back guarantee, so if after 1 month you decide that you didn't get better at FIFA, I'll refund your money back, and that way you won't lose anything. So come join the FIFA School Series. But anyway, back to the video. Then it starts with the most important part of the formation, the left back and right back. The left back and right back are both on join the attack, conserve interceptions, overlap for both of them. Now what this basically means is when you get the ball, they're going to surge forward. It's a combination of fast build-up play that makes them run quickly. Don't join the attack, so they basically go forward on their own. So you have to use no attacking fullbacks, no deep pad tactics, and overlap. The key aspect is where they stay in their own lane, and that's what makes them unmarked. So all those three things together are what's very, very important. The 7 interceptions has to be there because stamina is a big issue. If, for example, you lose the ball, these guys need to run back. With aggressive interceptions, you want them A, to guard position, and B, you conserve stamina with conservative interceptions. That's kind of the two reasons with that. For the 3 centre mids, now, when you first play this formation, I'd recommend putting them all on stay back while attacking. Just so you understand how the formation works. Once you've played it a couple of games, I'd recommend your central player, which act kind of like a DM, stay back while attacking, cover center, stay on the edge of the box, and conservative. This means that they're going to stay in the middle, and if you do lose the ball, at least you're going to have one player there in the middle. I'd recommend someone like Kante or a defensive player that can play this role very, very well. Next to him, we have the right centre mid. Now I have stay back while attacking, stay on the edge of the box, and cover centre. So this way, at the very least, you're going to have 2 centre mids at least. If you do lose the ball, you can have players outside the box who can distribute and recycle the ball to if your opponent is parking a bus. But you're always going to have 2 people to pass to outside the box. The left centre mid is kind of the most attacking centre mid. Now, with this formation, you lack the cam. So with the left centre mid, we have him on balance. Now, I'd recommend actually putting a striker in this role, because when you go forward, this would be the man that comes inside, because your opponent's playing a back 4. His back 4 is going to be split up. So basically, your left back and right back is going to occupy his left back and right back. Your 2 strikers are going to occupy his 2 centre backs, and this is where this player breaks into those gaps. So that's how you put him on balance. You can put him on get forward if he's got bad work rates, but a high medium will be perfect in this situation. Get into the box and cover centre. All 3 of them for cover centre. Now why? When you lose the ball, most of the time your opponent's going to target you centrally with a through ball down the middle. So at least this way, your midfield or your central area, you dominated that and you won't get killed in the counter attack, and you're more defensively stable when you're basically losing the ball and also when you're going forward. The second thing is your left back and right back, they can always attack your opponent's left back and right back if they're running down the wing. So that's why you don't need the cover wing, because you have cover wing, these guys will go over here and you're just going to have a massive gap in the middle. It's not worth doing it. It sounds logical, but in FIFA, it doesn't work like that. So it's better to play them all on stay central. And in terms of the back 3, we put them all on stay back while attacking. What you can do is you can put your goalkeeper on sweeper keeper. So I wouldn't recommend any of these. You can put them on sweeper keeper, but I'll just say be very careful. Ideally I would say here, a goalkeeper that's extremely fast. I would say is ideal. But I would say if you're comfortable, just use a triangle button, or if you're on Xbox, use the Y button to bring the goalkeeper out manually, because through balls are a big thing. Your opponent's going to be spamming through balls down the wing. It's better if you can control it manually. That way, if your opponent's running in behind, you don't want your goalkeeper just to be coming out and your opponent to get the ball only to chip him. So the key thing is just do bear in mind, you can use sweeper keeper, but if, for example, you're a goal 2 player and above, and you know, for example, you can control your goalkeeper with the triangle button, I'll definitely recommend leaving this unbalanced, and you can always use it whenever you need to. But that is basically the 5-3-2. In case you're wondering, in comparison, this formation with the 3-5-2, they're both different formations. The 3-5-2 basically has its own different aspect because you have left mids and right mids. You can argue in some aspects the 3-5-2 is more attacking. Yes, there is reasons behind that, and you can say it's more stable defensively. So I still prefer the 3-5-2 overall compared to the 5-3-2. But there is no doubt when you attack with the 5-3-2, because these fullbacks go forward in their own lane, they're basically unmarked. It makes it a much more attacking formation. So this would be a formation to use if your opponent's parking the bus and you want to exploit your opponent's defense. Then this is the formation for you to use. I would say use both of them in conjunction. I would probably release a video tomorrow explaining the in-game tactics, how to use them together. But anyway guys, thank you very much for watching. Take it easy and I'll catch you next time. Don't forget I do stream on twitch.tv/NealGuides, and of course all my social media links and my Patreon links all down below in the description. Thanks for watching. Take it easy and I'll catch you next time. Peace out.